What is Miracle gonna block a camp again? How will Boom recover? We'll have to see. I mean, they can. I was gonna say, do they have good stackers? They don't really.
For who?
IO can sort of stack well for Gaming Gladiators.
They're both pretty bad. Earthspear can really only stack one camp, maybe two if you kick your boulder with good times. It's kind of hard though.
Can the IO still do that with the spirits, or they don't aggro anymore?
They do, but the problem is you don't usually take spirits until like level 7.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Wow.
If you take spirits early, you're kind of griefing, in my opinion. ILTW might have a kill. Oh, was there a ward here? Oh, there is smoke. The smoke timed out, and Celery. He knew they were. He didn't see the coddle, but he did see, I believe, like Miracle and Mind Control over on the hill.
Yeah, okay. They're like, if you're like a 2K player, you go, what a godsend Celery has, but these guys, like, they probably have a ward up here. There's no way he did that otherwise.
And once again, pro players, they're really good at Dota, but every single time before the horn, before there's creeps, when it's just 5v5, true Dota at its essence, any time that they see enemies on a ward, they just stand still.
Yeah.
And that's what Celery did. He didn't know what to do. He just issues a stop command and just starts processing. Kuro's going to try and steal this bounty, and does! So got pretty fast fingers here as he shows Dyrachyo.
I like that point, though, because I think, in real life, death is the great equalizer, and in Dota games, is pre-horde fights are the great equalizer. You watch a pro team, you watch a pub, you go, I cannot tell the difference. It's very, very similar.
All right, so they will find that Observer at the very least with the second sentry. That does mean they're not going to be able to unblock this hard camp for the side pulls, however, and given that it's a tri-lane with a lot of push, because GH does have Illuminate level 1, and Kuro naturally pushes as well when he Sakuchi's the creep wave, we'll see how this affects the equilibrium in the lane.
Well, they're using the aggro try that they saw from Gaming Gladiators last game. I like that. CK, definitely really good at this. I can't believe we're back to tri-lane meta just for this series. Oh, that's so exciting.
It is.
My little boomer heart flutters.
And I believe there was some mid lane shenanigans. Usually I go over to catch the blocks, but it looks like either Miracle or Boom did not block the wave, the first wave, that is. Looks like Miracle didn't block
Which is a trick.
Yeah, which is a trick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, it makes sense. Miracle or Huskar level 1 is not that great. So you kind of want to wait for level 2, so it actually makes sense in this matchup, even if Ember can probably last it okay under tower. Ember actually wins this matchup at the first levels, as by the way, Celery gets dropped in the bottom lane. Illuminate plus Sakuchi hits him, and he just falls.
Even that Chaos Bolt level 1 coming in handy.
Yep.
Tri-lane already working out. First blood does go the way towards Kuro. Is that going to be for his early earn? It is, so he's going to get that online mighty fast.
You can kind of tell that Gaming Gladiators agrees with us in the sense that they think the ace lane needs to go well by the fact that they haven't forced try themselves to defend the Urson, right? They're really trying to make Ace have a good early game right now. But Dyrachyo's going to suffer a lot as a result.
Kuro.
Here comes a Chikuchi from Kuro. He wants to die this. Illuminate hits as well, but Dyrachyo has healing from the IO and still conserves a Fairy Fire. So we'll live for now.
Yeah, there's a
really difficult
crucial level 2. Mind Control is starting to suffer in this top lane, however. Tofu is one of these heroes that can kind of just run him down. Mind Control did opt for this early point in Lucky Shot and Swashbuckle. No points in the Shield Crash, which most Pangos are now favoring, in any position even. Again, the early point in Lucky Shot is going to allow you to still trade decently versus Tofu, but overall is still a bit weaker compared to old Pango considering its nerf. Tofu will TP mid now, though, as he looks for a kill into Miracle. Rolling Boulder's going to whiff, however. And Boulder Smash not nearly enough damage for a kill.
No, Tofu. Big fan.
Big fan.
He dealt a lot of damage there. The build for Pango as well. If you don't think you can stand your own in lane, which looked to be the case because the enemy team seemed committed to dual laning you solo Pango, the Shield Crash tends to be pretty bad. Because you kind of need it only for... Like, you don't really use it against the heroes.
Celery might be dead bottom as well as Kuro. It's going to be assisting ILTW who gets that last auto attack in.
He actually died, so Dyrachyo will get a range creep there. But will Dyrachyo die? We'll see now. Activates the magic stick before he gets hit by the stun. Illuminate also hits, has a Fairy Fire, but I don't think that's going to be enough to save him. They're going to dive the tower for this. Uses the Fairy Fire. That's enough to deter Nigma, apparently. ILTW trying to chase him after the tree. Celery's here back, and he activates himself. Dyrachyo self gets immediately cancelled, though. Celery gets hit by the Illuminate, but he did have a Tango on. That's not going to be enough healing. Dyrachyo will fall. Celery at least gets Kuroki, but Celery will die as well. And he won't be back with a TP, so it's going to be Dyrachyo solo in the lane for a while.
I don't know about this for Gladiators. They're going to try again mid. This is the natural point to make. If you're not going to commit this third hero down bottom, that's fine. But what are you doing with your third hero then? Tofu is at least threatening for mid, and that has kept Boom in the lane. He's doing very acceptable, 26-1 to the 20-4.
Very well.
This is probably one of Ember's worst matchups, to be honest. It's awful for him. So he's still holding his own. Top lane as well is doing decent. In fact, almost good, I would say. Ace, in case you didn't know, he's a safe laner. 26-18 on a Jakiro. So completely denying mind control out of this lane.
And against a Pango as well, which Jakiro still wins this matchup, but Pango usually lasts its fine. You have a lot of tools to annoy the Jakiro.
The issue,
bottom lane.
The issue is the CK, though. I guess with the start that Ace is having, you might have the tools to deter this early aggression, but this is a really great start for ILTW. That's what concerns me right now, Abo.
Yeah, ironically, this reminds me of the old Ace squads. When he used to play on all the Danish squads they used to play as, he was very well known. Or what I liked about those squads is that, wait, there's a fight going on. GH. Fury swipes, used a lot of stacks on GH, but not enough to kill him off. Duracho's been stopped. He has to use a swarm now. Has the overpower. Still available. Could go for Kuroki. Has 2 stacks of Furies. Now 3-4. But the Weaver always has a Shikuchi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, never mind. He got surprised there. The sentry gets him. Thanks to the Earth Shock there, they can bring him down. LTW could be in trouble himself. Tofu starts the Boulder Smash for the slow. Kills GH in the process. ILTW now slowed and gaining. Gladiators come back with vengeance.
Yeah, beautiful. I apologize to Tofu,
Well
to hashtag all the Tofu big fans in chat for not knowing Tofu was an Earth Spirits player. I definitely can tell that was a beautiful Earth Smash, Boulder Smash. You always want to hit 2 heroes if you can. It secures the kill onto the Coddle, sets up for the kill onto ILTW. Thing of beauty right there. Absolutely amazing plays.
Really, yeah. That's why we're all big fans of Tofu. Anyway, the point that I was making about Ace is that they were really good and back in the Danish squad at like changing roles and changing who's the win condition on the fly, depending on the game, right? Like they were really good at playing with, say, the offlaner as the main win condition in the early, then changing farm priority to the mid laner. Yep. Like it was amazing, and we're seeing that now in action. The fluidity of their movements in this map and how they're dealing with this really difficult tri-lane is very
Ace
impressive
is level
on the
6.
Gladiator side.
I don't mean to cut your point short, but this is insane. Ace is level 6. He's at a 2-level advantage over mind control, and Ace had a laning partner for the first like 3 minutes of the game.
It's great. Boom in the mid lane. He's got a TP. Miracle.
Trouble.
I actually see the opportunity to go for him, and they're gonna push him under tower. They won't.
No.
I think that Boulder Smash saved him.
I actually don't think you kill him, to be honest. He's got Fairy Fire. He has Berserker's Blood level 2 with plenty of armor. I don't think they kill him.
Oh, Ace. They are. Okay, I was gonna say attempting onto him. They do deal a bit of damage, but Lucky Shot no longer slows. Mid lane, Miracle is the target.
There
And a commit for this. Sleight of Fist will clear him. As Kuroki joins in, no Shikuchi for another 9 seconds. They don't know this, or they don't want to punish this yet, so instead they'll just stay to the tower and heal.
Yep, they force Ace back. Duracho, though, in the meantime, Scouts both supports mid lane, so he's getting a bit aggressive and some chip damage even to ILTW's tier 1. He has a Chaos Bolt, but is going to choose not to throw it. Towards the Ursa Warrior. Ace at least forced out of lane temporarily. Still the richest hero in the game on this Jakiro. 303 build, so it's maximum lane pressure, maximum tower damage build. As mind control... Oh, he's just refilling the bottle. Okay.
Yeah, mind control has been sacked this game, really. They put him up against a Jakiro, strong laner. He really couldn't do much. He was even against a dual lane the whole early game. Pango's really good at recovering, though, so it's not a concern. But you're not going to have the early impact rolling thunders that we're used to seeing for an off-lane Pango. He probably will get a line around minute 12 or so when he actually has, I don't know if Arcanes or Maelstrom or whatever, but the next item, really.
Speaking of recovering, I'd say Duracho doing a commendable job at just that, as he does use the Enrage here to shrug off that 3-second stun and the Illuminate. So Nigma not going to be able to get any damage really onto Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Level 6 is huge, by the way, for the Ursa in this lane, because you can pretty much prevent the whole gank by just enraging at the right time.
Top lane, actually. Celery's going to make this preemptive TP. Mind Control now up to level 6 himself, so has the Rolling Boulder. Rolling Thunder, pardon me. So many things that are rolling in this match. As right now, Tofu is looking to set the ball rolling in action here onto Mind Control with that ward behind the tower. Would not have been scouted. Towers don't see that far during the night. Control with not enough mana here to roll, but with the wand he's a-okay, as now here Kuro shows on up. Ace buffed now by the move speed of Celery, trying to juke the Rolling Thunder, but Mind Control doesn't really have a second wall to bounce off of other than the side of the map, which is going to be far too far away.
Yeah. Not the best Rolling Thunder spot, honestly. There's kind of there's actually a lot of space in these trees, as you mentioned. Not really any good bouncing spots because there's no cliff or anything like that. So I know that was the best use of it, to be honest. You could have pushed the lane even with a Rolling Thunder right now, and now your tower's done.
Yep. Nothing really that Kuro can do other than look
Oh.
to snipe a courier.
He tried to take the tower. He has a swashbuckle,
He's
but
dead.
Tofu also has mobility, mind control. Bit off a bit more than he could chew, and he's going to die as a result. Lays down a ward, though, before he
Sneaky.
dies.
Always the sneaky ward. Those very rarely get dewarded, even in pro games. No one's checking inventories that hard. Who did S4 called someone sweaty? Right? Remember, it's like pros call other pros sweaty, which is, you know, just like that really has to mean something.
No, that was Taiga, not S4.
It was Taiga, that's right.
Yeah, it was Taiga. Taiga calls a lot of people sweaty, though, but it was his own Liquid teammates. He says they're all sweaty players.
GH is taking these stacks. I don't know if he means to. They probably want to give these to Pango, but Tofu was in the area, like, threatening to take them. Jakiro can clear stacks, especially with max dual breath. He is going to clear these stacks.
When you say means to, you mean like ideally he wouldn't clear them?
I guess so.
Right?
Drawship. Might be dead. No enrage here. His life stealing a bit off ILTW, but not nearly enough. Although the Wisp is here, but did not have tether. Was tethered to 8. Instead, they're only going to get ILTW. Mind control as well. Not the greatest swashbuckle away. Ice Path will whiff, however, as it's going to be Miracle getting 2 kills. Excuse me, did you catch what was going on there?
No, I did not. I was actually watching bottom. I'm sorry. But blocking by where Miracle was, though, it seems like he kind of got, like, dived? They went into the triangle, right?
I thought they did.
So, maybe a bit too aggressive by giving Gladiators, though we saw the power of the Jakiro there. Almost, I mean, he actually auto-attacked the Chaos Knight to death.
He did.
Celery still has a tether, he's gonna be fine.
GH.
And the mid lane won't fall just yet. Duracho's here as well.
GH took those
Miracle's
stacks.
a hard kill, though.
Yeah, the Armlet's online. I don't know if you can Armlet top
Tofu.
Ursa.
Tofu's nearby. Nice use there of the inner fire, but it's not going to be enough against
Gotcha, though, he's
Spear.
dead. 10 stacks of spears. Could be the tower. Level 3 dual breath. In addition to the switchblade completed, Jakiro going straight into the Ag Scepter. I think one of the strongest Ags in the game, low-key. This Macropire increase, the cooldown as well. I'll hold that thought. In trouble is mind control.
Mind control, rolling boulders available, though. I think mind control's dead again. Yep. And that means tower also falls. And we talked about it. They're going to playing around Ace in the early game, and that's exactly what they're doing right now, and I think this is wonderful. And they know what their plan is. And even if Ursa has to play a bit more sacrificial, I think it's okay. It's justified early.
Yeah, I agree. Miracle heading straight into BKB. Not the ideal build for Huskars. They're much like, I don't know. Yeah, this is like when Dooms don't go Midas first and they feel pressure to go BKB immediately. They want that kind of intermediary item. Usually for Huskars, I think it's not straight Ags. Usually the games don't go that well, but at least a Sanj with the first Ogre Axe.
Yes. The BKB is what you get when you realize the enemy team has some sort of caster that's really like taking off, right? In the case of Ace. It's really difficult to fight as well into a Jakiro because you can just Ice Path when you're jumping in, right? And you're going to get stuck every single time. You can't stop that.
Nope. Mind control as well here, given his, difficult laning stage. He's nowhere near the Blink Dagger. In fact, he is not even more. He's the poorest on his team. Just full stop.
He's a support at this point, yeah.
Again, with GH taking those stacks, he's going to have a faster 4-staff. And Kuro's farm, especially with First Blood, is decent, so he does have that full urn already online and almost a vessel, as Nigma will throw him in the dead lane top.
Yeah, that's the difficulty that Mind Control is facing this game. Because GH has been kind of taking this deep push farm, right? Usually is reserved to the Pango. He hasn't really been able to recover that well. GH has clearly been given a lot of farm priority.
Seriously.
So I'm curious as to why.
Pango severely demoted, as Gladiators are going to try for Roche. There's a ward here that they scout. But Nigma might be pretty confident here. Tofu smoke has broken, though, so GH might know he's nearby.
Oh, I think they saw him ward as well because of the courier.
Yeah, they did, 100%.
Good use by GH there. They know he's up there as well.
Roche.
They're blinding light him.
Go too fast, though.
Yes, it will. This time, those Gaming Gladiators are going to be using the Ursa for that Roche.
Yeah, they also get the D ward in the river. They take down a courier to ensure that that ward sticks around a bit longer. ILTW now with his own armlet. There's going to be basically identical builds here on this Huskar and this ILTW CK. Not too surprising given the heroes do not really similar things, but they like...
They're both strength.
They desire the similar attributes, right? They desire similar attributes. I think is accurate.
Yeah. They have muscles.
They
indeed.
want muscles, absolutely. It's almost beach season, everyone.
CK is looking fine, though, with that armlet.
Huskar, as always. Huskar's fire.
I mean, CK right now, I don't know if it's going to offend anyone, but he looks like a German tourist in Barcelona. Look at his face. Like, that's exactly... They stay in the beach too long. One person, he was eating too many shrimp in the beach, fell asleep. I've seen far too many of these. It hurts too much.
Okay. It's a Western European joke. We're in the Western European region. You know, we got some NA games later on.
In case anyone thought I was American.
No, he's not. He's not American. Alvaro doesn't know any baseball stats. He's never seen Moneyball.
I've never seen Money, period. That's why you know I'm Spanish. Duracho, the defusal blade is ready.
Miracle.
And he's going to try to use it against Caudle. Miracle is not that easy a target to go on. But they're committed.
They really want
they're
him.
Like half committing, half not. Duracho has been baited by his own team. I mean, they can get away for now, though. They haven't overcommitted just yet. Tofu will be the only target for now, as Duracho. They're trying to counter-initiate, apparently, as they see an opportunity to go for the CK, but he has the Phantasm to dispel those searing chains. LTW slowed down by the inhibit. LTW will fall, as Mind Control's courier also dies in the meantime. GH will be next target, but Ace has been chased around here, and Ace will finally die. Boom, seeks a way to retreat. He still has the TP, but he's out of remnants, so he's going to bank it all on getting no stuns.
Oh, wow.
That's going to work for him. Not enough damage, just barely surviving there.
That was
really awkward fight, though. That was so weird by giving Gladiators.
Yeah, that was super awkward. The creeps take the tier 1 tower in the meantime, I suppose, but they really forced that onto Miracle. In fact, they almost get him there. Lots of damage over time is going to prevent him from armlet toggling, and he was kind of ticking down, but yeah, just kind of madness there, wasn't it? They still conserve Aegis, so although I think we're not quite done with these wacky fights. I imagine Gladiators are going to smoke up as soon as they have Enrage and Macro up again and just go.
I'm always impressed when I see those fights because it's the only time you get to really see a team's discipline come into play, right? And that was a lot of discipline after they initiate into the tier 2, right? Maybe turn on the discipline a bit beforehand. That was kind of the issue for them. They did a similar play in game 2. You're like, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here. But I at least like that they know when to retreat in time and they can turn these engagements, which maybe are not the best calls initially, into pretty okay engagements for them. That also takes a lot of skill, and it's not something to be scoffed at.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. And this Macropyre Ags is going to be online here relatively shortly if Ace wants to buy out for it.
Hype.
Given that he's an offlaner, he probably will. Duration increased by 15 seconds, which more than
60
doubles
minutes.
it. It's going to still be on quite a long cooldown, but the area is increased, and it's pure damage and goes through spell immunity, which is massive. It's so much damage, especially against illusions. Cores never expect it because they go, haha, Jakiro, I pop BKB and I ignore you. Not anymore, you don't. This item seriously messes with the muscle memory.
And Jakiro now, he's at that weird position where it's so early that Jakiro's kind of a tanky offlaner because his strength gain is not too bad. So he's deceptively that hero where everyone wants to initiate on him first, obviously. He seems like the easy hero to go on, but they'll waste too much time. He'll just run into Macropyre, and Nigma will take way too much damage.
Miracle again nearby. That seems to always raise Gaimin Gladiators' blood pressure. In they go again. We want him. The Sacred Warrior BKBs. There's going to be the Macropyre on top. Miracle cannot armlet toggle through this. 21 charges. Down he goes. Celery's going to get the killing blow as Mind Control rolls through the fight. Claims the first life of Fuzzy Wuzzy. Celery as well will be swept up there in the time that Duracho respawns by GH's Max Illuminates. It's still 2 dead for Nigma, and the Macropyre continuing to burn means that Nigma are going to end up losing in that fight.
Exactly as you called it, Richie, dude. He walked into the Macropyre and goes, why am I still burning? And he just died. Especially now that Huskar has the magic resist now added to his passive. I'm certain he did not consider how much damage that Macropyre was dealing.
154 pure damage per second at minute 17. That's what, like 6 dooms?
Yep.
It's
and lingers for 2 seconds as well.
Lingers.
It's huge now.
Yeah, I mean it's massive. This is it's not to be trifled with. Again, it really messes with pro players or just core players' muscle memories. You can see he's like, I have BKB. I don't care about you, Jakiro. I mean, that's what it was. You gotta respect the Zags.
Well done, well done. And I like that Ace just rushed this. Again, this all comes from Gaming Gladiators acknowledging that he's the strongest hero right now. They're gonna play around him. He has the most farm. And this is what allows them to get these nice little team fights, which are slowly recovering Ursa in the game. Sometimes recovering your carry is not about giving him all the space in the world and trying to get him to farm as much as possible, like, say, a team like Beast Coast would do. Sometimes it's best to allow the other heroes to create space for him in team fights, and he recovers by getting kills. Especially with tempo carries like Ursa. These are the heroes that excel the most with these kind of versatile lineups and teams that can do well with the changing farm priority. now with BKB, it's going to be very exciting. The next team fight for Gaming Gladiators is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Because the BKB on the Huskar, I don't think is as impactful as the one on the Ursa this game.
No, it's not. Yeah, I completely agree, especially because of the burst healing. Nigma, other than just completely killing off the Wisp in the fight, are a little bit more limited in terms of what actions they can take to limit the Wisp's impact. Especially now that Kuro's actually out of Vessel charges. They basically have nothing they can do other than just focus onto him. As Kuro is going to be scouted here by the wards that Tofu placed down, trying to clear through the sentries. The miss rate, of course, no longer applies onto wards, but they will set up now, trying to get through Kuro. He's got time lapse, we'll get it off. He's in trouble here. It's going to be Tofu. Rolls back in on a Miracle, though, and there's that macro again, taking him down. Duracho with the killing blow. ILTW as well is going to be fighting. Kuro standing in macro pyre as his mind control. Boom going to hold him down a bit longer with the Searing Chains, as if it's not enough damage on the macro itself, but the fight being lost by the Gladiators as the relocate not in time. Duracho has fallen. Boom pulled back there by the Rift, as he is going to be chased away in the river. Mind Control trying to slow him here to a crawl. Another Reality Rift, but again, Boom having his last remnants now is going to be forced back. Buyback from Ace, however, as Mind Control with Blink Dagger in 3 seconds, but being canceled here, has the Swashbuckle rooted up, but there's just too much magic damage. He certainly will tick away. Buyback forced from Ace, at least, is a little bit more space for Nigma, but Gladiator is just playing so aggressively in this game. I love it.
That was a very well used buyback as well. I think if you watch the Chinese region, you see that the idea of buybacks is changing slowly over the past year, and they're starting to utilize buybacks more effectively in the mid and late in early game. There's even the buybacks to farm that they calculated with Xiaoba, and I think this was a good example of other regions starting to adapt to that too. Tofu, there's a rolling boulder. He is blinding light into safety actually, and they've rooted Miracle. Miracle is in trouble. Macropyre's been dropped, and Miracle is going to die. As they want to continue going for Kuroki. He does have the time lapse and the Shikuchi, so Kuroki should be fine. Should be fine. No, he got hit by a stun there, which he wasn't expecting. That's going to kill him.
Tofu? Oh, he's out.
He had time lapse, mind you, but not enough time to use it.
Yeah, that's the problem with the time lapse. And that's the second time they fight around this ward. Second time Miracle dies. You don't play Huskar to get your BKB pre-20 minutes, BKB armlet, which is respectable farm. I commented earlier how it's not ideal. You would like to have the Sange, and that's true, but like this is not bad farm. You don't pick Huskar to lose these fights in 20 minutes to casters. You hate this.
Yep.
Especially if you lose to Arkosh.
Yes, exactly. I agree. I think that they nullified the Huskar's impact by this Ags, and I mean, you've been just kind of relishing the Macropyre team fight. I think you're completely right about this. Mind Control also struggling a bit more. How Mind Control gets stuck here onto Boom. Boom does it, the BKB. Relocate's being charged. Io is not taking anyone with him. The Ice Path fails. They're trying to go for Jakiro first, but like I said, a bit tanky is Jakiro, at least early. Now, finally, Ace will fall. At least to the Swarm. Or no? Ace surviving, even getting rid of the bug there. And now the big bug is trying to kill him off as the tether brings him back to that place, but Kuroki is stuck now, has one more Shikuchi. Is he going to go for Ace? He's going to try, but Ace survives yet again.
It's close. No, it's close. He's ticking.
No, he hasn't died. No, the tether saves him.
So much.
Deceptively tanky Jakiro, my boy. So Macropyre plus this incredible, unstoppable flying fortress is winning in the game.
Celery as well. I mean, it's just so difficult. Ace didn't even have Macropyre. It was the threat of the Macropyre. As I say, as Shiver, as Puppy says, sometimes it's not about the black hole, but the threat of the black hole. And that time, they definitely respect Ace and his very strong cast. It's not even level 3 Macropyre. He doesn't even have this 20 talent for the plus 30 damage, but it's just such a big threat that they kind of, I don't want to say forget about the Wisp, but don't focus him down. And now this second Roche conceded.
I mean, they just can't, right? Because they can at best focus down one person with a CK and Huskar. And this also comes from Mind Control being so sacrificed. You're lacking the team fight that Pango would usually give you. Because Pango is one of the best heroes to sacrifice in lane. He recovers really nicely with Swashbuckle and Shield Crash. He pushes lanes like crazy, but he can't do that if he's competing with Weaver and Caudle to see who's going to be the deep pushers. So I think in this game, Nigma had too much of a good thing, and there are too many heroes that can play a dead lane, too many heroes that can go for the dangerous farm, and that kind of by accident let Pango fall off. Yeah. And now with a Blink Dagger, it's not enough.
Even too many heroes that, like, if you don't give them farm, they kind of fall off, right? Like,
yes, Greed.
Sometimes Greed is good, sometimes it's not. There goes Fuzzy Wuzzy jumping in again.
Okay, there's the team fight that Caudle provides, but the BKBs will nullify that. GH is going to die as they break that Will-O-Wisp open. Macropar has been dropped as well. The
Here's
CK can't
Miracle
fight
from
inside
behind.
of it, but they got him rid of the Earth Spirit. Now they're going for the Jakiro, and they do have a chance. Miracle finally getting their revenge. The Flames this time will go against Jakiro.
Good armlet.
A Miracle might still die to the Angry
Great
Bear. However, a
armlet.
beautiful stun there will save Miracle's life, and Duracho's been sent back since around the Rift. He is going to lose his first life.
Only Boom.
They have more stuns. Boom is coming by. Celery, yes, relocate, and he comes in, but they knew this was going to happen. Celery ready to die for his carry as Duracho presses the attack button, goes for Miracle, and will get that kill as the support dies behind him. Duracho still wanting to fight this. He knows ILTW is low on mana, can't use those stuns any longer.
Oh.
ILTW will get the last crit though, and that's going to guarantee the kill onto Duracho, but he dies in the process. Boom surviving this engagement. Here the TP's coming in.
GH is back.
ILTW wants to show Boom what a buyback feels like, as Boom out of mana this time has no more escapes. He is going to fall, and this fight goes both ways. Team wipes everywhere. I don't know who even wins that.
I don't know who wins that either. I would say Nigma. Miracle still making it out and living through that first really great armlet toggle is massive. I think that's the difference of initiating on this Huskar and not. But it's kind of awkward because, again, you don't pick Huskar to not be the first one into fights. You want to jump in as Sacred Warrior, get the Ags, and taunt him for 3 seconds to do BKB. But the fights go much better when he's not the first one, the second, or even the third one into the fight. He's super late to TP in.
Do have to agree that the fact that Nigma managed to stay alive longer on their cores in that first bout, right, was pretty big because they also get the experience and gold from
Here it is on the replay.
More so. Okay. I'm gonna watch the stream now.
Yeah. Like, the Ignis was great as well. Does distract Ursa through his BKB for a couple of seconds, but again, the macro placement just means that the Jakiro can, or sorry, the Huskar can ignore it. You can see here, it looks like he's about to die, but no macro on top, and easily armlet toggles Ursa with so few Fury swipes on him. Eventually, he dies in like 1 right click later, when Ursa's got like 20-something stacks on him, but for the start of the fight, it looked really good for him.
There was a lucky shot there as well that kind of saved the Ursa's life, by the way, in the early. And you saw what he went over. That was a pretty big deal. Duracho, there's the Ignis once again. He has to activate the BKB, but doesn't have a chance to for now. There comes Celery. I feel like Duracho's using Celery as a disposable save right now. Oh, no, not again. Celery wants to live this time. And in fact, Nigma feel this. They can feel his will to live, and they're going to retreat ever so slightly. ILTW gets caught. He has the BKB. He'll be fine for now. Macropie already got dropped. I don't know if you want to push this too hard. Duracho apparently does. As he activates his own BKB with the Enrage on top of that. That's the shard. And a kill off ILTW. Well done, Kuroki. Let's get dusted. But the real target seems to be the Huskar, who's actually attacked Duracho in the mid lane, and he will get that kill. Celery couldn't heal him in time. Hayes tries to finish off Mind Control. Mind Control does have the Dispel this time with the shard. Searing Chain stops that Regen Rune, and Mind Control will finally die. Ursa does buy back. Where's the TP? Where's he coming from?
He's a core.
He's coming in from behind. There he goes. The outpost the whole time. Miracle cannot survive. This Miracle will die. Kuroki, he's trying to get away, but Tofu's not letting him. Kuroki has no more time lapse. He's going to fall. Tofu barely outruns that Illuminate. And Nigma, this time, they will lose the fight. Good buyback there by Duracho.
Yeah, seriously, was not expecting that TP to the tier 2 tower, or sorry, to the outpost even. But yeah, the nice thing about Ursa is you buy back, and, you know, normally when you buy back, you lose your buffs, like TB on Metamorphosis quite famously, right? Obviously not going to be the case of GH. Ace, he knows where he's going to want to be. Another Ignis, because of course you can reduce the cooldown of Will-O-Wisp with your Chakra Magic, and that's going to allow him to escape. Very balanced man incarnation of light. But a really good buyback. The point being is that whenever you buy back, you lose all of your temporary buffs, but the enemies, they don't, right? So buying back on Slark feels bad, for example, even after a long fight, because you don't keep your essence stacks after death, they're dispelled. But enemies do not get their Fury Swipes dispelled when you die all of a sudden.
That's true. That's a very good point. And still, Enrage is a low cooldown ability. You have the Shard on top of that, right? So it's not like you lose those transformation abilities per se, those buffs as you go back in. Whereas the CK does struggle more with a buyback, right? Because he's usually wasted his illusions. And while they're not key to his fight, he can still fight without them. He'd much rather have them available.
Yeah, but yeah, he's like way more about the burst, right? 1/3 chance to crit on your CK. Your illusions do 100% damage, right? Obviously they take a little bit more, but that's his whole shtick. And well, he doesn't have the shard yet, but when he's got 3 illusions, like you're guaranteed to crit on 1 and a good chance to crit on 2. You're about that burst damage, right? So even if you have low cooldowns, even lower because they're buffed by the coddle on your first 2 abilities, the fact that you're going to be missing out on that big old bouts of crit damage does feel really weak compared to Ursa, who just doesn't care.
Exactly. Ursa's a very good hero, just fighting constantly, right? That's I think the advantage that Ursa has over any of the other faster tempo heroes. You know, Luda, the gyros, the trolls, whatever. Ursa might be lacking push and honestly anything in the book.
Yep.
But he is very good at fighting constantly. And that's what they've been doing, honestly. Gaming Gladiators, they put their gas on the pedal and they've never stopped.
Oh, it's a fun game, isn't it? I will bring up, though, that the LXW did feel forced to buy back earlier this game.
Foot on the pedal.
So he is still waiting on his buyback cooldown. That being said, without Aegis, of course, and without the fastest push in the world, Jakiro, very respectable at pushing because you can, much like Liquid Fire, with the Liquid Frost, you can target towers, which is very strong.
Yes.
One of the few abilities that can stun towers, so it's very strong, especially against a Fortify, like a Meteor.
Also percentage-based damage.
Yep.
Onto towers.
Really, really good.
Huge.
So their push isn't weak, but even with this 10 talent of the attack range, Jakiro does not want to be too close to the front lines because they can pull him up and kill him like that. So I think Gaming Gladiators gonna go ahead and wait for this next Roche, but it's an incredibly even game. This is the game 3 I think we were both hoping for.
Yes, and let me add to that point because you're completely right. I was mentioning earlier how Jakiro is deceptively tanky early because his strength gain is good enough. That's long gone, right? You don't go for any strength items. You don't go for survivability. For being an offlaner, you're lackluster right now as a tank. It's fine though because Earthspit covers that a little bit more. Now he has items, but we have to be careful because Ace now can be a target for Nigma to burst, and it's no longer that hard as we saw in the earlier team play.
Yeah, in fact, I would even take that a step further and say now that ILTW is not fully online, but with Blink Dagger, his catch and his range is substantial. They can almost burst anyone, even before a Wisp, unless Wisp is actively tethered to them, and assuming Reality Rift does not break tether, because it has the chance to, right? Not guaranteed, not the best tether break, but you can break it. ILTW might be able to 100 to 0 just about anyone this game, because the armor gain is not amazing on anyone. Dyrachyo may be the outlier there, especially as he finishes off this Satanic.
Also, if we talk about bursting someone, Miracle getting that axe is going to be key to that.
Yeah, I was about to check for this.
Yeah, he's 700 gold away. It's a 3-second disable that will pierce BKB as well. So, Ursa, not the best target, but everything else, ideal. Especially the Ember, I think, is a big deal because Boom has kind of just activated BKB and been free in team fights. That Ags on the Huskar will make that not the case anymore.
And Ace is, just to come back to him, Ace is much hardier now. He does have a BKB, which means he's going to be immune to all the stuns and the lockdown. But that Ag Scepter that Miracle's about to finish is still a problem. Ace as well got by far one of probably the best carriers now of Enchanted Quiver, especially on a core Jakiro, because it matches perfectly the cooldown of Liquid Fire. So in fights, you don't even have to think about it. You can just auto-cast Liquid Fire, and then you're going to be throwing it with increased range, with increased damage every 4 seconds. It's beautiful.
How much range does he have, by the way, with Enchanted Quiver?
A lot.
So he has usually 400 plus 325, 725.
I think if you hover Liquid Fire when Enchanted Quiver is off cooldown, you can see it's a little...
No, it's bugged. It shows the cast range of Liquid Fire, no?
It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It's over 1,000 cast range. Or attack range. Yeah, I mean, this is great for sieging towers, right? Actually, this is the best you can use the Enchanted Quiver for. A little bit of burst also helps against the supports, because Kato, because of the gold he got this game, he even has the Philosopher's Stone. I mean, he's matching LTW almost. We talked about them giving GH priority, but this is too much, man.
Okay, a couple key items online now. Huskar, he's got his Ags. There is a Yule Scepter for Mind Control. Oh, they're doing Roche already. Let me tune in before he dies. All right, so third Aegis then. And Refresher Shard for Dyrachyo. No, who's he giving it to? Where's this Refresher Shard? Ember, right?
He's keeping it in his backpack for safety.
Ursa? Or who?
Can't be... I don't know.
Where is it?
Oh, Io? No? Where is it now?
Oh, Jakiro. Okay. Yeah, Macropyre does fully stack.
Yeah, sure, mate. We won the early with Macropyre. If we have 2, we can win the late game as well.
Miracle, what do you...
That's
smokes? Okay. They'll break one, but Tofu's going to find a big fan, kicks him down to the low ground. Okay, Ace is going to experience the full glory that is the Huskar Axe, but he has a cheese, and he is saved with the relocate out. ILTW in the meantime fighting 1v1 versus Dyrachyo as Mind Control is assisting with the Rolling Thunder, but now that it's ended, Dyrachyo is still on his first life, still healthy, still has Satanic. ILTW losing the fight versus Boom. Couldn't retreat thanks to the Macropyre either, as GH ran down by Tofu, 3 dead. I didn't even see Miracle die.
Yeah, Miracle got pushed. I don't know if you're genuine about that, but Miracle got pushed to the low ground and he just got bursted down quickly by the Ursa. I mean, maybe he shouldn't be the one breaking the smoke, right? It should be probably the Weaver and the Caudle. How much value can you probably assign to the Weaver? Whereas, especially with an Earth Spirit being able to reposition you like that. They fully took advantage of this, and your push is crazy with Jakiro. You really can underestimate this. Also, they'll dive you. Mind control, he slowly rolls back to the base as they get rid of the Will-O-Wisp. No more team fight for GH, as they at least take one lane of Rax, probably
two, yeah, they're going to be TPing.
Now, Boom is just recharging.
Yep, he'll be back. He'll be back. Yeah, I didn't, what I meant was I didn't even see Dyrachyo get on top of him and kill him that fast. He was already low because of Ace, but the relocate back onto Ace as Celery saves him with the cheese back play.
Okay.
Yeah.
They actually don't have creeps in base though, so we didn't count that, but the cutting from Kuroki really effective. That allows them to only take one lane of Rax, no creeps anywhere, backdoor protection triggers, and that means that it won't be. I mean,
you just lose the fight.
Their push is good, but honestly, now that I saw it, it's good as in it can be consistently used, but it's not fast. Like Ace always has Liquid Fire, always has Liquid Frost. The tower's always ticking down ever so slightly, but you're more of a push like Pugna where you like poke and prod the Rax, more than a push like, say, Luna, where you win one team fight and take 3 lanes.
Or like Tiny, where you win one team fight and you win the game.
Right, exactly. But Tiny's already winning you the game by being picked to begin with.
And check this out. I actually really like Boom's build this game. I didn't really comment on it too much. He did go for the Deso.
Yeah, I was a big fan.
Yeah, Maelstrom first, then Deso, BKB, and now I have Scotty finished for him into the AC.
I'm very surprised with the Scotty build-up, but honestly with Deso I think it works well. It's going to nullify the Huskar, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a nuisance, though, to the CK in general, who doesn't like that slow. And it's a really good use of how Boom has been playing in these team fights. He doesn't need to be a big damage source, because Jakiro and Ursa bring overwhelming damage. So he's just there to put debuffs on. Use Sleight of Fist, be a nuisance, be uncatchable, and just put a bunch of debuffs on the enemy. It's kind of like a utility Ember with much more scalability.
Ace didn't have to use Refresher Shard in that fight either. Still has a long duration BKB and 2 macros ready to go if they look to siege hard here. Miracle not in this fight. As he attempts to farm up the shard. Now that he's got it, he's back.
It's like he has a 15-second BKB he uses effectively. That's kind of crazy. Dyrachyo with the constant jumping of the shard. Pushing is not difficult for him. And this is where they shine, right? Kono can illuminate all he wants, but Jakiro will always be able to hit that tower. It is really difficult for you to actually stop him without initiating on the enemy. And the poke and prod is a nuisance to Nigma, who doesn't really know how to answer this, except for forcing a fight.
Yeah, Nigma don't, I mean, their poke is okay, but it's not lethal. You know, all their heroes are in or they're not. You know, Pango, Huskar, CK, they go into fights or they're not fighting, basically. Nothing like an Ember, right? Boom can kind of just harass like that, and that's significant damage, enough to force an ability for Mind Control even. Mind Control now has a Basher. Dyrachyo as well has one of the backpack. Age is still on him for 50 more seconds. So looks like the fight's kicking off now.
Okay, BKB activated by Ace though, as he's going to
got the Wisp.
The Will-O-Wisp realizes he can't. Celery's dead. The Celery has the buyback and relocate as well. Dyrachyo finds LTW in the backlines. Ace recharges, has a second BKB now. Ace can't be killed that easily. Macro fires.
2 macros.
Perfect V of death. Miracle has to retreat. Too much fire around. LTW's already dead. And Mind Control's trying to give his team some space here. Just retreating as much as possible. Mind Control will be found though. TP cancelled and he's killed. At least the Rax don't fall here, but Gaimin Gladiators, they don't want the rest. They want to continue this. Their objective is to take at least a second lane of Rax, perhaps even more, as there's no Pango for 70 seconds.
And Miracle with his shard now able to turn all this macro fire into inner fire into healing, which actually keeps him alive there despite standing in, I think, only 1, perhaps 2 of the macros with that 20 talent taken. Nonetheless, second lane of Rax still taken, but it seems like Nigma looking to still apply pressure, perhaps looking for a pick-off, as they have ILTW positioned around the back. They are chasing after Kuro. Second roll is going to find him here into the long duration silence from Tofu. Kuro still silenced and killed off. He's going to end up dropping here to Tofu, big fan. Ursa's still in the base though, no longer has Aegis. Let's be a little bit careful here. With the Basher though, he's still mighty scary. Basher, Basher, Satanic, and a BKB.
Yeah, he's very, very scary right now. The CK can't hold his own against him. GH is now the mid laner this game, by the way, in terms of net worth. Only Huskar beating him.
ILTW looking again for Celery. But Barracks are falling too fast.
ILTW is playing an offlane CK, and he's going to succeed here. Kill Celery in time.
Good
and the
Ignis.
Ice Path now successful. They do hit the Jakiro this time with the taunt. Ace activates the BKB right afterwards, though, and Miracle has been destroyed. Dyrachyo and Boom just took him down in a matter of seconds. That was such an overwhelming amount of damage.
I think that's it. I don't know how else Nigma do that. They're going to be up against Megas. They don't have really the best Megas lineup, to be honest. And Ursa's still in your base. Jakiro's still in your base.
And they have some push, right? This is not the worst team against Megas, but you're right. Illuminate falters against Megas compared to, say, any sort of
compared
fleet.
to the carries we have in the meta.
Oh, also, if he's dead, he can't illuminate, so that's what
true.
we're going to try to fix here. Tofu has another BKB. Doesn't matter, though. Even if he's constantly will-o-wisped, he can just roll away right afterwards. They already killed GH. They find Kuroki as well. Kuroki trying to waste as much time as possible, but he falls as well. And Gaming Gladiators are taking Game 3, and therefore the series.
Yeah, very well played. Those Gaming Gladiators continue to go completely flawless here.
I mean, is it still flawless if they lose one game in the series?
Well,
We still consider that?